Kayla,
Yes.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you a fan of Harry Potter?
9 3/4.
Hello! If you don't get that reference, you should probably hang up now because you're not going to get any of this.
Yeah.
Or maybe you should stay on.
But there will be a lot of spoilers, so just be prepared.
Yeah, this is like all going to be spoilerific.
Yeah.
But if you've not seen Harry Potter by now, the last one came out, 6 years ago? Something stupid?
Yeah, a long time ago.
And the first one came out, 2001?
Yep.
So, if you've not seen it in the last 16 years, you're not going to watch it because it's not that great.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so today, Kayla is going to take us through the Harry Potter franchise, and particularly the movies. She's a big fan of the books, but the movies are more relatable to some people, and there's way too much information in the books.
Yes.
So we're going to stick with the
And
movies.
most of it overlaps, so.
Yeah, they overlap, and we can talk about maybe some differences if we can find them.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case,
Let's get ready to mumble.
Dumbledore!
Alright, what's the first one? Do you know?
Depends where you are, but for me it was the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes.
Yes.
Or the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes. Because apparently you guys don't know what philosophers are. Apparently that's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know how you know what philosophers are more than... Or sorcerers are more than philosophers. Philosophers are real things. Sorcerers are not.
That's
so
true.
Maybe that's why they wanted it.
Make it more magical.
Make it less. Could be real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so, like you just said, it came out in 2001. Directed by Chris Columbus, who directed the first and the second one.
I did not know that until today, that it was a guy called Christopher Columbus, or Chris Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that it means much, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, the books were written by J.K. Rowling. They actually came out... When did the first book come out?
97, I think? 1997,
Yeah.
1996, something like that. It was ages ago. Like, I remember when I was in high school, start of high school, one of my friends and his mum and his little brother were really obsessed with them. And that was in 2000 I went to high school. Mm-hmm. So, and they were, and that was prior to that, they were obsessed with them. So, it must have been early on. Mm-hmm. I'm looking now, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, 2001, first movie.
1997. Yep.
Books, 1997. Good.
97, 98, 99, and 2000 were the first four.
Okay.
So, year after year after year.
Did you ever stand in line and wait on them?
No. I didn't read them until... I've already read the first four.
Okay.
I got halfway through the fifth. And I didn't read them until maybe 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Something like that. I'm not a big reader, so it's nothing to do with the books. Just I wasn't a big reader. I enjoyed them though.
Yeah.
Out of all the books in the world I've read, which is maybe about 16, there are 4 of them, so
Good.
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah. I loved them.
Did you love the books before the movies?
Yes. I think. I may have seen the first movie and then read all, because 1987 I would have been...
Younger than probably be able to read that book, I would have thought.
Yeah.
No, but maybe, depending on your reading
97
level.
I would have been 6.
Yeah.
So yes, I was not reading the books in 97, but I watched the first movie in theater in 2001 and then went home and got all the books and read them.
Yeah.
Like that were out up until
you
that
would have
point.
up to the 4th book
Yeah.
by then, but yeah.
And then after that, whenever they came out, I was there buying them. Whenever the movies came out,
And
I was there. I think I was too young at that point. I think my parents just they made sure I had it for the next day.
Like it wasn't. I don't ever recall them being out of stock of the books. Maybe they were in like the last one or something, but I always feel like they had enough stock. I can't quite remember.
I don't know.
I do know like a first edition Philosopher's Stone signed from 97 like costs an absolute bomb.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And now they're doing the illustrated versions.
Oh yeah.
So I'm collecting those now.
You might like an illustration of like 10 pages or something.
No, there is like a huge book, and it's like I think every page has an illustration.
And is it based on the movie, or is it based on like? Do they look like the actors?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it looks like how they described buck teeth and.
Yep, it's really cool.
That's great. It's cool.
Yeah. So we'll go into the first movie, The Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone. Basically, you have...
As a movie here, it was Sorcerer's Stone as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't
Also Sorcerer's Stone.
just the book.
No. don't even know where to start. You have this kid named Harry Potter, and he's 11, and he's living in, like, with his aunt and uncle and cousin who treat him really bad.
The Dursleys?
Yes. Good job.
Knowledge.
On your 11th birthday, when you are a wizard or a witch, you get a letter from the school. There's multiple schools that we learn about later, but this particular one's Hogwarts. It comes by owl, and then you prepare and you go. And so this letter comes, and they don't let him have it, and then it's just back and forth between owls bringing letters and them destroying them, and finally Hagrid, a big giant oaf person,
half giant, right?
Yeah, half giant. Yes, sorry, excuse me. Comes and basically picks up Harry and is like, "You're going to Hogwarts. Come on."
What does he tell him? Is that
you're a wizard, Harry?
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what? A wizard.
Yes.
You seen that YouTube thing? There's like a guy who, my friend Jack in Aberdeen loves it, and him and his mates used to go on about it, and that's what reminds me of Jack.
Severus Snape, Dumbledore.
I can't remember if it's that one or if there was another one where it's like a Scottish guy or like a British guy swearing. I was like, "You're a fucking wizard," and all this stuff, and it was really funny. But yeah, the puppet show one as well.
Yeah,
there's so many memes about it. All
I love it.
So Hagrid comes and tells him that he's a wizard.
Yes.
And does he take him away, or does he? No.
Yeah, he goes away with him.
He takes him away with Hagrid. So how does Hagrid travel?
On the motorcycle.
Ah, yeah, he sits in the sidecar. Yeah. Makes sense.
So yeah, they go and they like basically introduce Harry to the wizarding world. They get all his stuff for school. They put him on the Hogwarts Express and they send him away to school. And he loves it.
Oh my god, I still want to talk about every element of this. We're going to brush through so many things.
We will break it down even more.
Should we? I don't know.
I thought you said you want to talk about every element.
I do want to talk about every element, but I also I don't know how long that's going to take.
What parts am I missing? What would you like to add?
Think about maybe the big elements. So, what does he pick up in the alley that is really important to the whole story?
You're correct.
So we maybe want to focus on those points.
Okay.
Perhaps.
So, rewind.
Not that anything that we're going to mention now is important or coming up later. See, covered that. It's
good job.
Right,
okay. So, I was thinking something completely different. So, they go to the bank, Gringotts, and they withdraw. Harry is really, really rich and didn't know this. So they withdraw some money. Then they also have to go to this other location within the bank and get this random item that Hagrid is very weird about and won't tell Harry what's going on. And just kind of like puts in his pocket and says, "Best not to tell you about that," or something like that. Can't remember the exact words.
That's one thing I always found hilarious about the first couple of movies with Hagrid and how he says something and says, "Oh, shouldn't have said that." I don't know, me and my friends used to say that all the time to each other. I don't know why, but anyway.
So yeah, they get this random item, they get some money, they're good to go. They go buy him his owl and his broom, and this is a Nimbus 2000?
He doesn't buy that, he gets given
that.
He
doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
He gets given that
right.
from... Don't know who gets given that, actually. Can't remember, but it's...
I can't either.
Maybe it might be Dumbledore.
Alright, scratch the broom. Gets Hedwig and his wand.
Yeah.
And
there's one chooses him,
curious.
Though, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Because his wand also... I'm forgetting so much stuff. Harry Potter has a scar that the wand that...
Do we know about this yet? Harry doesn't know about this yet, though.
Yeah.
So, Harry picks up his wand, which has got a phoenix feather in it?
Yes.
Yes. And that's all he knows at the moment. Let's go along Harry. This place is where learning the same way Harry is.
But...
He knows he has a scar, but he doesn't know anything about the scar.
But the wand... What is his name?
No, the guy in the shop tells him there's only one other like this one. Does he tell him it's from the guy who should have been named?
The same wand that gave you that scar.
Ah, yeah.
Yes. So he doesn't know exactly who or why he has the scar, but Ollivander, the wand maker, tells him that the brother wand, the pair wand, is the one that gave him the scar. And so then that makes Harry really curious. They go to a pub, they sit down, they start talking. They meet his Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Quirrell, and then he scurries along. And he asked him who... I can't remember if he asked him about a scar or who he who must not be named is. They end up on a conversation about this person that you're not supposed to name.
Yeah, I think he says... I think it's about his scar. I think it's who gave me the scar, I think, yes.
Okay.
Because I think he asked Hermione about who should not be named later on in the train.
Yeah.
I believe.
So Hagrid goes into the story and explains the scar. And, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And
we're probably going to get some stuff wrong. Sorry, Potter fans, but
God.
It's
a lot to think about. This is all from memory, too.
Yeah, we've got no notes here. Literally nothing.
So he explains that there was this dark wizard named Lord Voldemort.
I don't think he mentions his name yet, though, does he?
It's he who must not be named yet.
Yeah.
And he basically recruits a bunch of followers, and their goal is to strip away they think that they're better than muggles, which are non-magical people. And they want to basically just gain power over these people and just rule. So they form this group called the Death Eaters, and he's like the leader of them. And there's a resistance against him, and Harry Potter's parents were part of that resistance. Because of that, you figure out later what happens. But basically, they get sold out. He doesn't go into full detail with that. Voldemort comes to their house and kills both the parents, but he tries to kill the baby Harry first. But Lily, his mom, jumps in front and basically sacrifices herself, which in turn...
Well, we don't know what that creates yet,
yeah.
We don't
know what it creates.
We just know that she sacrificed himself, he survived.
And then Voldemort just
disappeared, and he's left this scar.
Yes.
That's all we know at that point. And Harry doesn't really remember any of this. We get a flashback, I think, in the movie.
Yeah.
To some degree of that, but we don't really see what's going on, really. Mm-hmm. So Harry Potter has an incline now that magic caused the death of his parents, which he obviously didn't know, and that he's a wizard, and that he's going to school now.
Yes. Which
is also relatively fresh for him. And at this point, Daniel Radcliffe's so new to acting, doesn't look like anything. It's just a mess. But it's still interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so he's got his stuff. What happens next?
He gets on the Hogwarts Express and they go to school.
So, do we get the whole going through you don't see the 9 3/4 wall at this point, do you?
Yes, you do.
Does he meet the Weasleys before then?
Yes. So Hagrid just kind of drops him off at the train station.
Yeah. And he bumps into the Weasleys.
Yes. So he's
literally bumps in.
Yeah, because he's trying to figure out how he's supposed to find 9 3/4. He asked like the random guard person at King's Cross, and the guard's like, "Oh, you're joking." So he bumps into this family of redheads. They're the Weasleys. So they show him how to get through. Ron is the same year as him. This is going to be his first year as well. So they all go through and they sit together in the cart or whatever, and then so they're on their way.
On the train.
Yeah.
Nice. So they're on the train, and then how does Hermione join them? Did she just fall in there? Does she hiding from someone? Or?
No. So Neville lost his toad.
Yes.
And Neville's just another first year that he'll become more important later.
Unimportant. Oh yeah. Okay.
He's not very important right now.
No.
So he lost his frog, and Hermione's helping him find it. So she comes into the cart and she's like, "Have you seen a toad?" Maybe it's a toad, whatever. And then she's like, "You're Harry Potter."
Nailed it.
And so then she's, "I'm Hermione Granger, and you are." I promise I won't quote the whole movie.
No, it's good. Keep going. Yeah,
so yeah, they meet, and this is the beginning of a budding friendship.
So they have a wee chat on the train.
Yes.
Nothing fancy, but they sort of introduce what type of characters they are.
Yeah.
So you get the Hermione's, there's know-it-all, kind of SWAT, I guess. Do you guys use the word SWAT here? To be like a suck up, like a smarty pants?
No.
What would you use for someone who would describe her?
Like brown noser.
Yeah, okay, that works.
A little bit.
Yep. You got Harry, who's just oblivious to everything.
Yes.
Bit of an idiot, really.
Yes.
And then Ron, who's a big idiot but knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hilarious.
And is this when they get the sweets and the frogs and stuff? Or is that the next one? That's Chambers, right?
I think it's this one. Because
they'll
say, "We'll take the lot."
Yeah, because you don't see them on the... Oh, yeah, because he pulls out the money and Mr. Big Claws. Harry Potter, brings out all the money.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they're sitting there eating all the candy.
Yeah. And then they get to Hogwarts.
Yes.
Okay, so they're at Hogwarts. It's nighttime, right?
Yes.
And what happens then? They just get off, and then this is the only time you ever see this. And this people question this, I'm sure. They get on the boats, right?
So only first years to the boat ride.
Okay.
That's why.
But, okay, so how do you... But everyone gets the train.
Everyone gets on the train, and then
you go,
I don't know if there's...
the long way round, and everyone else gets the short way around or something. Okay. Just to be awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like, I don't know, crossing the lake and seeing the castle, that whole thing.
Yeah. And getting off the train is the first time they meet Draco Malfoy, right? Does he not come off and say something to Ron?
So they get inside the castle, and they're like on the stairs waiting to be sorted, and that's when Draco says something about, you must be a Weasley.
Yeah.
Or
with red hair. There's something about the red hair.
Hand-me-down robes. Red hair, hand-me-down robes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Okay, so we've kind of got the concept of, we've got the three good guys, and then automatically introduce the initial villain anyway, which is Draco. And as you said, they're about to go into the main chamber for quite an important process.
Sorting.
Yeah, the house sorting. Alright, cool, so they go in, what happens next?
You put a hat on their head and they get sorted.
They get sorted?
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, we don't know, they just get sorted depending on what the hat wants, apparently.
Yes.
We just think it's just whatever this hat sees within them. Mm-hmm. And so where does Ron go?
Gryffindor.
Where does
Clearly.
Harry go? Alright, I wanted to Harry last, even though it's all obvious. Where does Hermione go?
Gryffindor.
Where does Draco go?
Slytherin.
Where does Neville go?
Gryffindor.
Where does... Can't think of anybody else. Where does Harry go?
Gryffindor.
Harry go? Yeah, but...
Not Slytherin. Not Slytherin. He does not want to be in Slytherin, because I think he found out that... I think he knows...
I think it was just because Draco went there, and everyone else who was there seemed to have dark hair and nasty.
Okay.
And he's two friends with
Gryffindor. So he asked to be put in Gryffindor, and that's when we learned that the hat takes you into consideration too. Yeah. So you can ask.
But the hat did tell him he'd be a great Slytherin and maybe one of the best.
Yep.
But he chose to go Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Gryffindor! That's my hat impression.
Perfect. So then they have a big feast, and it looks amazing.
Apparently in the first movie, all the food was real.
Really?
Every single bit of it was real, but it went off really quickly because of the hot light and left a big stench. So all subsequent movies, it's all sort of molds of frozen food. So, but yeah, the first one was apparently all real because they wanted to make it look as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
Which I'd be pecking at it the whole time.
Yeah.
All that chicken and ham.
Well, that makes sense because Ron goes to town on some chicken.
Yeah. You probably don't see that as much in other movies. They probably had one or two bits just to create that. But... And then they had the big feast, and is that the end of that sort of the second scene?
I mean, they go up to the common room and they start finding their way around the school, and then next is really just them going into class.
So you go and see them going to classes. Now, because it's already been 20 minutes, we'll maybe alright, so before they get into the main element of this episode, or this film, he goes through some stuff like school, he gets introduced to the classes. The main classes, you find out about the dark arts one, was it? The
Defense Against the Dark
Defense
Arts.
Against the Dark Arts. What are a couple of ones that are sort of important?
Transfiguration.
Okay, Transfiguration. And
Potions.
Okay.
That's really the three.
And then we see him at one point learning to fly a broomstick.
Yes.
Which is quite important. Well, not important, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Because he becomes a natural, obviously, which really pissed me off.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't. You happen to be very good, because who did he save?
He saved Neville's Remembrall.
Oh, yes. Yeah, save it. And then he got sort of poached to go play for Gryffindor for the Quidditch team. And did we get his first Quidditch match? Yes. Did we get a couple? First, just one.
I don't remember.
Is that the one where it ended up in his mouth? Was
yes, that's his very first one.
Okay, his very first one where he catches it in his mouth and he wins. Which is so lame. But so cool and enchanting. And what else happens? Not main plot line.
So you meet the main professors are Professor McGonagall, which is this Transfiguration professor, and also the leader or the person of Gryffindor house.
Yes, this woman.
Professor Snape is his potions teacher and leader of the Slytherin house, and then Professor Quirrell.
Alan Rickman, I'm just saying
Yes.
actors and stuff.
And then Professor Quirrell is Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and Dumbledore is the headmaster.
Yes, because I mentioned Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the moment, he obviously plays a big role in the whole of Harry Potter, and he knows a lot more than he ever tells Harry, which everyone thinks is very selfish of him.
Yes.
But apparently helps him, who knows. And at the moment, it's played by an actor who...
It was Michael Gambon? Or is that who it is now?
That was who it is now.
Richard Harris.
It was Richard Harris who actually sadly passed away between the second and third one, or the first and second one?
Second and third one.
Second and third one. But yeah, who it's odd because although you do notice the difference when you watch them, and I didn't even now I can't think of the difference. But yeah. Okay, so main plot line of this then. What is Chamber of Secrets? Not Chamber of Secrets. What's the Philosopher's Stone?
So it's this stone that helps you live forever. So basically, this guy named Nicholas Flamel wanted to be immortal.
Okay.
So I don't know if he made the stone or found the stone. I'm still not sure.
I think he made it.
Okay.
I have a feeling he made it.
Okay.
But I don't know.
He had the stone, and then I think they were worried that Voldemort or somebody was going to try to steal it, and so that's why it was hidden away in Gringotts. I can't remember why it was brought out, why they wanted it out of Gringotts. Maybe they thought somebody was going to steal it from there. I think that's what it was. They thought somebody was going to break into Gringotts and try to steal it.
That rings a bell.
And then Gringotts did get broken into. So it actually was somebody was going to try to steal it. So they were going to leave it at Hogwarts to be protected because Hogwarts is the most
apparently the
safest place on
even though they've got about 1,000 kids there.
Yeah.
Probably more than 1,000.
So they take this stone and they hide it in a bunch of different, not traps, but you have to go through these obstacles to get to it. So it is relatively safe. Yeah. So.
Now, what was there was a well, not famous, but there was a big creature that initially protected it. What was that?
Fluffy.
Fluffy, and that
the
was
three-headed dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why did Harry and stuff go searching for the stone?
At first, they didn't. Well, so they first ran into Fluffy. They were just, I think they took a wrong turn, and then Mrs. Norris, Filch's cat, they were afraid they were going to get in trouble. So they hid, and when they walked in, it was Fluffy. And so they ran back out, and then at this point, they're convinced that Professor Snape is a bad guy. So on Halloween night, they're at this feast or whatever, and Professor Quirrell runs into the Great Hall and yells that there's a troll in the dungeon. So
I recall. Yep.
Dumbledore tells everybody to get back to their houses, and Ron has been a jerk to Hermione, and she is in the girls' bathroom crying. So Harry and Ron run to save her, or to help find her, because she doesn't know there's a troll in the dungeon. And the troll has made its way out of the dungeon and into the girls' bathroom. So they have to save her. They did save her. They're good. They get in trouble. They have to go to detention. God, I couldn't think of the word. In the Forbidden Forest, where they come across this creature that is killing unicorns. Unicorn blood helps preserve your life. It helps to give, even if you're on the brink of death, it will save you. Okay. That's what Hagrid says. So they see this creature feasting on a unicorn's blood, and Harry's scar starts hurting. It's a form of Voldemort, basically.
But they don't know that at the time.
No.
They just see some weird creature.
Yeah. So then all this has happened. They're convinced that Snape is the one that let the troll in. So they try to tell Hagrid. Hagrid tells them they're just not going to get stolen. Stop worrying or whatever. Yeah. I don't remember why they went and searched for it. Why all of this started that night. When they decided to go out looking for it.
I can't remember either.
But they did.
But they did, yeah.
Yeah. They're deciding to save the day because Hagrid's not listening. I think that at one point they might have tried to talk to Dumbledore and he wasn't listening, so they took it upon themselves to go after them. Mm-hmm. So they figure out how to get past Fluffy. They drop down, and they have to get through Double Snare, which is this like plant that just basically wraps itself around you and tries to suffocate you.
Okay.
But once you relax, you fall through. They have to do there's a room with a bunch of keys, and they have to use a broom to find which key it is to unlock the door. In the books, I think there was also another test that was like a potions test, where they had to make a potion, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't in the movie. Then they had to play, it accumulates in a big game of Wizard's Chess. And they each have to write a piece or be a piece, and Ron dramatically falls to the ground.
Yes,
doesn't get
himself. Which was, yeah.
It doesn't get very hurt.
Yeah, and that was a really sort of moment.
Yes. They win the game. Harry goes on while Hermione tends to Ron's knocked out self. And he comes face to face with Professor Quirrell. And was very upset that it wasn't Snape. So Professor Quirrell is the one who let the troll in. He's the one who is trying to steal the Sorcerer's Stone. And so they yell at each other. He takes his turban off his head, and Voldemort's face is attached to the back of his head. So Voldemort has been living off of Professor Quirrell.
Which is a really weird thing, but anyway.
Yeah. So they try to get the stone. It ends up being in Harry's pocket somehow. And...
yeah, it's because he's standing in front of a mirror, right?
Yeah, the mirror of Erisai.
What happens? Like, somehow he sees something in Harry.
Yeah.
And gives him it somehow.
Yeah. I don't really know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know what the mirror does exactly. But, yeah.
Yeah, so then Voldemort, or Professor Quirrell, rushes towards him, and Harry touches him, and Professor Quirrell burns and just, like, turns to ash. And you see, like, Voldemort's spirit basically, like, go through Harry, but not... He's not in a form, so you can't really hurt him. And then...
So just show you that he's escaped. He didn't die with Quirrell.
He escapes. They end up destroying the stone.
Huh. So Harry destroys the stone.
No, once they rescue him or whatever, Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel destroy the stone because they don't want it to fall into the wrong person's hands. And then Gryffindor gets like 100 points for something.
100 points for Gryffindor.
And then they end up winning the House Cup, and it's time to go home.
So in it, what happens to Quirrell? Why does
he dies? I don't know.
Because even I've got a quick synopsis here as well. It says Quirrell promptly tries to seize the stone, but his flesh burns on contact with Harry, proving lethal for Quirrell. But it doesn't say.
I've never been able to remember, understand why.
Huh. Fair enough. And then after that, I think at the end of the movie, basically, everything seems happy. Harry returns to Dursleys, doesn't get perform magic because he's young. And that's pretty much the end of that first movie, right?
Yep.
Couple of facts about the first movie. Harry doesn't perform one spell in the whole movie.
Really?
Not a single bit of magic.
Huh.
Other than flying on a broomstick, nothing. Which is interesting. I thought he would have performed something, but apparently he doesn't do a single spell at all.
That's crazy.
I don't know if he does in the book or not. He probably does, but in the movie he doesn't. And what else was I going to say? Can't recall. But yeah, it was. I remember watching it when I was a kid and being happy with it. I was only like 10 or 11 at the time. Yeah. 12 maybe. But I saw it at Christmas because I think I'd seen Lord of the Rings recently because that came out the same year, I think. And they were very different movies, but both sort of fantasy, family-based movies. How would you rate this one? 1 to 10, not 9 3/4. How was this movie? Go for you.
4 maybe. It was very, very slow. So was the book. That was the hardest one to get through.
Yeah. It must be a quick read now. I'm sure you've read it since.
Yeah, I mean, it's still my least favorite to read though. Between that one and 4.
Which is interesting because usually the introduction to these things is always the most interesting. Like the first Matrix is the best because it's when it happens. The first Spider-Man of Tobey Maguire is the best because it's him finding his powers. I suppose since Harry doesn't perform a spell, what's he found? He's found a Philosopher's Stone. That's like it. Yeah,
there's just so many characters and it's such a new world. So it's like there's just so much to learn in the first one.
Reading it back after reading that other 8 or 7 books, do you is there parts that you're like, oh, this is set up, or is it all entirely like encapsulated in one story? Is it not really leading on to anything else yet? It's not like, there's like, oh, there's an Easter egg for book 4.
I mean, I feel like it all kind of ties together once you know the ending.
I suppose, yeah, she's written it very well that it does that. I'm pretty sure I've heard somewhere that she spent like 4 or 5 years setting boundaries and rules for everything as opposed to just go ahead and writing stuff. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so that was book 1, story 1, movie 1.
Yes.
Actors, the children actors are awful. The adult actors are great because they're all like Academy Award-winning English actors.
Yes.
Who's your favourite character out of the book, and who's your favourite character in the movie?
Hermione.
Is it Hermione in both? Or?
Hermione.
Yeah? You think Emma Watson was a good, portrayed well?
I mean...
Did she transfer over for you well?
I think she did, yeah.
I think she probably transferred over best for me.
Yes.
Like, Ron... it was... I like Rupert Grint. I think he's great. I think he's great. But I was like, it could have been anyone. Yeah. Harry Potter didn't, because there was a guy in my school who I was like 100% convinced he was a dead set for Harry Potter. So when it became Dan Radcliffe, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And you can never choose wisely with kids because they always grow up to be perfect or not perfect, and they happen to get both of those options dead on. One not perfect, one more than perfect. But all right. See, this next book was my least favourite.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I just think it kind of just didn't go anywhere. It almost seemed like the third one I loved. Lots of people love the third one.
Mm-hmm. And the third's my favourite.
The fourth one's when it kind of builds up to real sort of teenage stuff. But the second one, I was like, ugh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can remember less about this one, so you're gonna have to take even more of a role in this one.
Okay, I got this. Second one is what?
The Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. It came out, the book, I don't know when. The movie came out in 2002.
Okay, so 2 years after the first one, right?
No, just the next year.
Oh, okay, yes, 2001, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
So they are going back to their second year at Hogwarts.
Yay. Hogwarts. So when it's... Huh? Yeah, carry on, you go.
I can't remember if it shows anything about his living situation with the Dursleys at this point.
I think it does, because it's not the one when the auntie comes in and blows up. Or is that not this movie?
That's the next one.
Is that the next one? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So in this one, Harry is basically when he lives at the Dursleys' house, it's just out of sight. He's finally moved away from out of the cupboard from under the stairs. We didn't mention that in the first one. Uh-huh. He used to live in the cupboard under the stairs. They've given him a room now. So he's moved up in the world a little bit.
Okay.
But he's still banished to his room a lot. But he's okay with that. He's just up there. A friend, one of the Dursleys' friends, has come to visit. The uncle's just don't make any noise, be quiet. And Dobby the house elf shows up.
Oh yes. Is this the first introduction of him?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
what's the first words he says? Because these first words and last words are exactly the same. Apparently. It's very simple, Harry Potter.
Okay. Harry Potter. And he says that Harry cannot go to Hogwarts. Hogwarts isn't safe. Please don't go to Hogwarts. He's begging him. And then he starts beating himself because that's just what Dobby does. So he goes downstairs and basically drops cake on the friend so that the Dursleys will keep Harry, lock him in the room. Uh-huh. And it does make them really angry. So then Dobby disappears and Harry is locked in his bedroom, and then the Weasleys, Ron and Fred and George are the twin brothers, have to use their father's flying car to come save him. And they pull the chains off the window, and he hops out the window with them, and they fly to the Weasleys' house, and that's where they stay until they go to school.
Okay. Nice. And does he go... And he meets people before he goes to school, right? Yeah,
they meet in Diagon Alley to get all their supplies or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they meet their new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
Who is?
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
And he's a famous person and just very stuck up, but he's all about Harry Potter because Harry Potter's also famous. So yeah, then they get their stuff. They go home, and it's time to go to to Hogwarts, and Harry and Ron miss the train. Like, the platform closes.
Yeah. How does that happen? I can't remember. Is it just
Dobby.
too late?
Dobby made it close again. He's trying to prevent Harry from going to
Dobby's
Hogwarts.
pretty magical.
Yeah.
He's got mad skills.
Yeah.
For a house
So
elf.
he closes the
You
platform.
know whose house elf he is yet?
No.
That's not explained, right? No.
Not yet, I don't
I asked
think.
that a minute ago, didn't I?
No.
No, okay, cool.
But we don't know whose it is yet.
Yeah.
Yes, so platform 9 3/4 closes. So they have this bright idea to drive the flying car to Hogwarts.
Which is a Ford Anglia, and I've never, ever heard or seen one of them in my life. I don't know what time period this is set.
Uh-huh.
I believe I heard somewhere that the final battle happened in 1998 in the book.
Okay.
So maybe that's the timeline for things.
Yeah.
But,
I think Harry was born in the 80s.
yeah, so I guess this would be early 90s.
Yeah.
Which I guess would make sense for some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from he does have some things, I'm sure, in his room that don't make sense. But he's a wizard, so it doesn't really matter. It's an alternate universe. Okay, so they get in the car and they fly to Hogwarts.
Yes.
Now, how do they know where to go?
I have no idea.
They don't have GPS.
And
or
they,
sat
I
nav.
think so. I
And-
think for a long time in the movie it shows them flying over the train.
train,
Yeah,
yeah,
so they
that's
follow
true.
the train there.
Okay, cool.
So they get there and they don't know how to land this car because they're 12, and they land in the Whomping Willow, which is this big tree that basically beats them.
How many cars do you think were destroyed in the movie making?
Oh God, 12.
14. 14
Really?
cars were destroyed apparently in making that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a random movie fact.
Um,
So they get there, and do they just make it in time, or do they? Are they? Yeah, they must have got. They just have the train.
yeah, I think they're a little late, and they definitely get in a lot of trouble.
They get detention probably.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna get excluded, expelled or something, and then they just get detention or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she was like, I should expel you, but I'm
She
not
being
going
Professor
to.
McGonagall.
Yes. Sorry, Professor McGonagall.
That's alright.
And then Ryan gets a howler from his mom yelling at him.
Oh yeah. So the howlers are just
It's like a card that
a letter that
yells
screams
at
at
you.
you. Yeah. Okay.
He's so
that was
cool.
quite a cool scene. I remember watching that actually. I quite liked that.
Yeah.
I could just imagine it coming from my mom. Now, is there a point when Harry starts hearing voices here?
Yes.
Because early on he starts hearing voices he doesn't quite know where it's
Yeah.
coming from, and it's odd voices.
Yes. So his first detention, or one of his detentions, is with his Professor Lockhart, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. And while he's in there, he starts hearing these voices. And he doesn't know where they're coming from. And so he kind of just ignores them, and he tells them to go to bed or whatever. And so as he's walking back, they see Miss Norris, the cat. I think she's like hanging.
Yeah, she's
And-
like petrified,
yeah,
like all
so-
solid and like don't like
Yeah.
petrified wood, I guess.
And then there's blood on the wall, and there's a message that says the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. And so there's like this crowd, and of course everybody thinks Harry did it because he's the one that saw it. And yeah, so then that leads to lots of questions about what the Chamber of the Secrets is.
Do we find out at this point? Because
Yeah.
I recall McGonagall explaining it.
Yes.
About being one of the founders of Hogwarts, Salazar Slytherin, apparently constructed the chamber
Yes.
and then placed some sort of monster in front of it,
Yeah. Inside of it, yeah.
which can only be controlled by his heir or something like that. And it's there to take out a purge a school of impure-blooded wizards. Like Hermione!
Yes.
The Half-Blood. Ugh.
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 So they think that Malfoy is the heir because he's just this creepy guy in Slytherin. So they use Polyjuice Potion to turn
Which is-
themselves.
Okay, hang on. Get that.
Yeah, to turn themselves into somebody else. So Crabbe and Goyle are two of Malfoy's like supporters or whatever.
Yeah, henchman.
Yeah, and so they turn themselves into him, and they go figure it out if it's Malfoy, and Malfoy has no idea. So then that backfired.
That's when they meet Moaning Myrtle,
Yes.
right?
So they make this potion in the bathroom with Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah.
But I don't think she explains who she is.
No, not yet. Anyway.
Then what happens?
Now is this then? Now Harry and what's his face Malfoy
Malfoy.
have a wee wizard off at
Yeah.
some point, and then Malfoy produces a snake.
Yes.
Because that's how he realizes he's Parseltongue.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know what I'm assuming it's against the dark arts fighting.
I think so.
And I don't think, does it get out of hand, or is it in front of the teacher? Because surely the teacher would have allowed it to happen.
Yeah, so they put them together. Like they paired them up. So Snape chose Malfoy and Lockhart chose Harry, and they were fighting or whatever, battling.
Yeah.
Dueling,
yes.
And Malfoy produces a snake, and then Harry starts talking to it.
How does Harry? He just starts speaking to it, and it speaks back.
Yes.
He doesn't really know what's going on. Does he?
He has no idea. He doesn't know he's speaking a different language.
Uh-huh.
So that's when he realizes he's a Parseltongue. Everybody else realizes he's a Parseltongue. And then, of course, they think that it's him that's opening this Chamber of Secrets. So then
I believe this is when we get introduced to Tom Riddle and his diary at some point.
Yeah. So Harry finds the diary.
Where does he find it?
I think in the girls' bathroom.
Opposite Mona Myrtle.
Near her.
Is she near it?
Maybe.
No, I can't remember.
I think he finds it in the bathroom, though.
Okay.
And he starts writing in it, and then it will write back and tell him different things. So in that, we learn who Tom Riddle is, and...
Do we learn who Tom Riddle is?
Oh, we don't learn who he is. We learn about him.
About him, okay. Yeah.
Yep. Tom Marvolo Riddle. And he's a student. He was a student in Hogwarts like 50 years ago, I think. And he...
Because that's when the chamber was opened last time, like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he accused Hagrid of opening the Chamber of Secrets.
He accused Hagrid, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Hagrid was very into different creatures and still is. And so he had this big big spider called Aragog. And everybody thought that was what the monster in the Chamber of Secrets was. Okay. And so they accused Hagrid of that. And Hagrid loses his wand and his like all that stripped of him.
See, that seems very, just because they accuse him, they've not proven anything. It seems very...
Well, a girl died, so they're like...
Yeah, but they can't just...
Yeah,
and I don't know. They say a girl died, but how many times do they say people's lives dead easily in the whole... Like, nobody can die in a Harry Potter universe, essentially. I don't know how they claim... Anyway.
Yeah.
So that happened then. What happens now? Because the diary they still have the diary.
Yeah, so he's just in the diary, and they figure this stuff. Or Harry sees all this stuff, and then, because it's been opened again, and because he was accused in the past, they are accusing him again. And so when they come to take him to Azkaban, Harry is, I think he's hidden under the invisibility cloak at this point. Which he got as a Christmas present in book 1 and movie 1. Yeah. And so he tells them to follow the spiders. So they do. They follow him to the Forbidden Forest. They find out who Aragog is. Aragog explains that it wasn't Hagrid. Hagrid's innocent. But then sets his big army of spiders on Harry and Ron.
Why does he do that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Didn't seem very nice.
Yeah.
So then
they escape, right?
Yes, they escape because of the car saves them.
The car?
Yeah.
Okay.
It comes back and saves them.
Because it's wild now, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. But what's happened to Hermione here?
So she's still researching all about what this thing is. She finds out it's a basilisk. And
is she not ghost? Something that happened to her?
Yes. So she finds out that if you make direct eye contact with this basilisk, it kills you. Okay. But if you see the eyes through something else, like a lens or some kind of reflection, it just petrifies you. So she's like walking through the halls with a mirror, trying like to look around corners and not be petrified by this thing, which she does end up getting petrified by it.
Classic.
Her and this kid named Colin Creevey. Miss Norris, Colin Creevey, Hermione. Is it just those three?
I don't know.
Definitely those three are petrified by this thing. So then at that point they figure out like, well, Hermione's being petrified or whatever. they figure out that Ginny has been taken into the Chamber of Secrets. Ginny is Ron's younger sister.
Okay.
So I don't know why Harry and Ron were once again like, you know what, we'll be the ones to go.
Well, I think it's because it's Ginny, obviously.
Okay.
So I think, so Ginny's been gone to the Chamber of Secrets with Lockhart. Oh no, Lockhart's
the one that,
gonna
because they're like, well, he's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, he should go.
Ron and Harry find out Lockhart was a fraud and not really as adventurous
Oh,
as
okay.
he thinks he is.
So they make him
he
go.
says he is. And he was planning on like leaving and fleeing.
Okay, so they make him go, that's why.
But then because they know about Myrtle and that she was the girl that was killed by the basilisk, they go take Lockhart to him.
Yeah,
and
so...
then they find the chamber entrance.
Yeah.
And because they're searching for Jenny,
Jenny. They
go searching, and then they go inside with the three of them,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. But then Lockhart tries to escape or betray them?
Yeah, so...
What happens there?
He tries... Yeah, he has Ron's wand, which has like broken or something. His wand broke in the Whomping Willow, I think.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So he tries to do a spell on them, and it backfires, and it hurts him, and he becomes just like...
It causes a cave-in or something, so, and it traps him in there.
But he like loses his memory or something.
Yeah.
And so then Harry's by himself. Ron's stuck with Lockhart. Harry's by himself, and he like goes and finds his basilisk. He finds Jenny laying down on the ground, and he sees Tom Riddle, who he's seen in the diary previously, standing above her. And basically, he's trying to use Jenny to become
Yeah, so he manipulated Jenny to open the chamber, and I don't know how he managed to do it. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think he's trying to like use her he's gonna kill her, and he's just like draining her life to become stronger. And at that point, he reveals that he is Lord Voldemort, Tom Marvolo Riddle. He like changes the letters around and it says, "I am Lord Voldemort." He's the heir of Slytherin. He is angry that Harry is there interrupting his plan, so he sends the basilisk on him. So Harry fights the basilisk by running away and everything. Fawkes, which is Dumbledore's Phoenix, flies in and scratches up his eyes so that if
Harry thinks somebody won't die straight away.
Yeah.
And then he also brings in the Sorting Hat, right?
Yes. And the Sorting Hat is carrying the Sword of Gryffindor.
Yes.
Which Harry uses to impale the basilisk, and in the process, he gets stabbed. His arm gets stabbed with a basilisk fang.
Is that just poisonous, or is it something special? Okay.
Well, I think it's so poisonous it's gonna kill him.
Oh. Okay.
And then Fawkes comes in and cries on his arm, and it heals it because Phoenix tears heal everything.
Which is, if they've got something that feels everything, then it's just silly. You just make the bird cry constantly.
Exactly.
All right. So, does he walk? Does he kill Riddle? What happens to Riddle?
So that he crawls down before his arm's healed. He crawls down and he uses the basilisk fang to stab the diary, which in turn kills him. Kills
the diary, which has got the essence of Riddle / Voldemort in it.
Yes.
Okay. And then Ginny becomes alive again?
Yep. So
just because of killing Voldemort. Oh, okay.
Her energy starts coming back.
And then he just goes back upstairs.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's caved in, so how does he get out?
Fawkes carries them.
Fawkes
is also really strong, apparently.
Okay.
I guess. Phoenix are just amazing. So it flies all four of them up. They figure out how to unpetrify people using Mandrake's screams.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then Dumbledore, who's currently been fired by Lucius Malfoy, is reinstated.
Yes.
And then he gets all the points for Gryffindor.
Yeah, again.
And then I believe
they win the House Cup.
They win the House Cup again. And is this when they start figuring out who Dobby is?
Yes. So at this point, Dobby is walking back. So you find out Dobby is the Malfoy's household.
Dobby. I know it's Dobby.
It's the Malfoy's house elf, and so house elves can be free when you present them with an article of clothing. Mm-hmm. So Harry has taken off one of his socks and put it in the diary because also they figured out that Malfoy is the one that started this whole thing by giving Ginny the diary in the very beginning when they were in Diagon Alley.
Why would Malfoy do that?
Because he wants Voldemort to be back.
Oh, Lucius.
Yeah.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yes. Malfoy's dad. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
So Harry gives Lucius Malfoy the diary, which he just is like, here, Dobby, hold this. But when he gives it to him, there's a sock in there. And so since he presented him with the diary, which has a sock in it, now Dobby's a free elf. Dobby is a free elf.
All right, so that's book 2.
Yes.
Now, actually, as you described that, it does sound like quite a fun movie, but I do recall it being my least favourite.
Okay.
Maybe it's because it took the longest to go through the book for me, I'm not sure. But what did you think about that movie? You've seen it relatively recently. Is that right?
I liked it better than the first one and better than the fourth one, but not better than the third one.
Okay, and was the acting better by now, or was it still a bit poor?
It's still poor.
And favourite characters?
Hermione.
Still Hermione?
It's always going to be Hermione.
Okay, well, taking away her, was it...
okay.
Who died? There was only one person that died in this one. No, nobody died in this one.
Nobody died. I love McGonagall, too.
Yeah.
She's just a badass.
Is that Maggie something?
Maggie Smith?
Smith? That sounds about right.
I think.
I believe that was the actress that Rowling wanted to play the whole time, which is kind of cool. Imagine you picked in this.
Yeah.
Honor. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this was a fine transition. But well, to be fair, the one thing that Harry does do well at the very end of this movie does play a big part in the later things, considering it's one of the 7 things he destroys, apparently.
Yes.
But other than that, this movie could be, well, I guess it's all a development in the Voldemort camp, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really the only thing. It just is a setup for things you don't know about.
Do we get introduced to that place? Is that in the third book where that school trip they go on? Is that introduced in this one? Like, do they have the underground? Is that the next one?
That's the next one.
I think most of my knowledge is from the next one then.
Okay.
Or more of it. The first one and the third one. Because I can't remember anything from this one. Alright, well, we were hoping to get through 4 books, but that's 2.
There's a lot of Harry Potter stuff. It takes a while to go through a movie.
I think we could go through we could probably do a whole podcast, 12 weeks on one movie.
Yes.
And one book of this.
Yes.
Because they go quite in depth.
Yes.
Lots of stuff we missed. The dog's playing with its toys if you can hear bouncing. I'll probably cut it out. I won't. Alright, okay, well, good stuff. Hopefully at some point we'll get onto the next Harry Potters.
Yep.
Maybe I won't read the books or movies before then. I have a long time before this happens then, because someone might be leaving for Japan in 4 days. But we shall see. You got anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay, so far I'm maybe about a 4 out of 10 Harry Potter fan. So maybe by the end of this year,
we're going to convince you
to get up to 9 3/4 as well.
Yes.
Perhaps. I'm not sure. Alright. Nothing else?
Nope.
Okay, I've been Liam.
I'm Kayla.
This has been Mummicast. Oh wait. Instagram, Twitter. Nah, don't do it this week. Don't text us this week. We don't want anything. Nothing this week, please.
Nope.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Alright. Bye.
Bye.